Hello everyone. Continuing with the chapter Environment and Health, in that we have seen about the water as the environmental factor. Now, in water, purification on small scale we will cover later on. On large scale purification we have covered, and there are two methods like slow sand filter and rapid sand filter, isn't it? In today's lecture, we will concentrate on the next important environmental factor, and that is air. Now, air is most important component of man's environment, and it is equally important for all living organisms. A man can live for number of days without food and water also, but without air we cannot survive for few minutes also. Air is very vital to maintain life and to serve constant supply of oxygen to the body. So through respiration we get oxygen, isn't it? Then there are other functions also which are carried out by air, isn't it? Like uh, air carries sound, isn't it? It carries smell. So whatever sound we can hear, that is because of air. Or the smell that we get, pleasant smell, that is because of air. Then regulation of body temperature also air plays important role, isn't it? Now, on the same time, you see that in air there are so many other particles also. So regarding that also we will cover, because they are harmful for our body, isn't it? So all aspects of health, of air rather, which are important, that we are going to cover. Now, air is a mixture of gases such as nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, neon, and helium. It also has some small solid particles in suspension called environmental dust, isn't it? So, anywhere you go, you will find that dust is also present in air. Now, this is the composition of air, isn't it? That what pure air contains, isn't it? So in diagram you can see that the oxygen percentage is 20.9, nitrogen is 78.1, then carbon dioxide 0.03, and then trace elements are there like argon, neon, krypton, xenon, helium. Water vapors are there, ammonia is there, dust, bacteria, spores, vegetable debris, isn't it? So this is the composition of air. Now, pure air is necessary for healthy living, and fresh air acts like tonic. How? It stimulates our digestion. So our food is digested, isn't it? Then metabolism is improved. So whatever the things that we eat, they are converted from one form to another. So that is improved. Our nervous system is strengthened. It provides strength to our nervous system. Then it increases body resistance power also against diseases. We can fight against diseases if our immune power is strong. Now, we must have fresh air to breathe, then and then only all these whatever the functions are there, they are carried out smoothly, isn't it? So this is the composition that we have seen of air. Now, how air becomes impure, isn't it? How the quality of air decreases. So, these are certain points that you must remember, that respiration, now continuous respiration that is going on wherever we go, isn't it? Whether we are present in inside in a particular room or in any premises, isn't it? Or we are openly going from one place to another, still Due to the process of respiration of human beings and animals, air gets impure. Then combustion of coal, gas and oil, isn't it? That also makes air impure. Decomposition of organic matter, isn't it? Then industries, trade, traffic, isn't it? So manufacturing processes are in industries, isn't it? On the same time, dust, fumes, vapors and gases. These factors make air impure. Now, air pollution, first of all, we must know the meaning. The presence of substances, in bracket it is gases or any particulate matter may be there. It will include all dust particles, foreign particles also. So, the presence of substances generated by activity of man in concentration that interfere with human health, safety or comfort is called air pollution. Also, we can say that the term air pollution is applied when there is excessive concentration of foreign matter in the air which is harmful to health. So, in these words, also we can say the meaning of air pollution, isn't it? Nowadays, this air pollution is a major problem which is affecting atmosphere and health of public, and uh, principally urbanization and industrialization are the main causes of air pollution. Air pollution, again, one more meaning you can see. So, air pollution is defined as any atmospheric condition in which certain substances are present in such concentrations that they can produce undesirable effects on man and his environment. Now, the major sources we will talk of air pollution. Natural pollution of the atmosphere occurs due to dust, storms, eruption of volcanoes, resulting in lightning and floods. So, that also causes air pollution. Then, industries. Now, industries are the big source of air pollution, isn't it? Here, industries they emit various gases and particulate matter such as sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxide, cement dust, carbon monoxide, isn't it? So whatever the chemical industries are there, fertilizer industries are there, metallurgical industries are there, they are responsible for air pollution. Then use of automobiles. So automobiles are also the major sources of air pollution because number of vehicles are increasing, isn't it? The major pollutant emitted by the automobiles like vehicles is nitrogen oxide, hydrocarbons and carbon monoxide, isn't it? So whatever the vehicular traffic is there, maybe diesel vehicles or petrol vehicles, isn't it? They are responsible for air pollution. Then chemical fertilizers, as I said, these are used to increase agricultural production. It produces pollutants like nitrogen oxide, sulfur dioxide, ammonia and urea dust which pollute the air in the community. Then tobacco smoke. Now many people they have got a habit of smoking, isn't it? Many people they smoke at public areas, isn't it? That is tobacco smoke. Other than that, uh, smoke which is evolved from the houses, isn't it? So that is also the another factor. And tobacco smoke emits nicotine which is highly injurious. Again, the slide which shows diagrammatically you can see and understand how these sources are responsible for air pollution. So automobiles we have discussed, motor vehicles, maybe two wheelers, four wheelers, isn't it? So buses, trucks, tractors, railway engines, isn't it? They emit more smoke, isn't it? But on the same time, vehicles like cars and two wheelers, three wheelers also, which are on petrol, but still they are very harmful because they emit carbon monoxide, which is a poisonous gas, isn't it? The industries we have seen, isn't it? Domestic sources, then tobacco smoke, miscellaneous will include pesticides, which are used in fields, radioactive fallout, isn't it? Fertilizer dust, mining activity, mills and plants, isn't it? Then natural sources will include wind, fungi, bone dust, bacteria, isn't it? Then decomposition of animal and vegetable matter also leads to air pollution, isn't it? Then insecticide, pesticide that we have discussed are on the same time nuclear energy programs which are carried out by the government. They are also one of the factor for air pollution. So near about 100 pollutants are there which are identified, isn't it? They are responsible for air pollution. Now trucks and buses they run on diesel which has high sulfur content. The old engines emit vast quantities of suspended particulate matter leading to heavy air pollution in many cities. Then many pollutants also depress our immune system, and because of this our body becomes sensitive and it is easily targeted by microorganisms and our body suffer from infections. So carbon monoxide from automobile emissions like two wheelers, three wheelers, four wheelers like car, isn't it? They can cause headache at lower levels and mental impairment and even death at higher levels also. Now, miscellaneous factors for air pollution are burning, isn't it? So, burning of agricultural waste in fields, isn't it? Like in some states, you might be knowing if you're watching news, isn't it? So, in Haryana, Punjab, so they burn agricultural waste, isn't it? Parali jo jalate hain, isn't it? So, burning refuse nearby to homes also is another factor. Incinerators, so burning is carried out at higher level at large scale by using incinerator, isn't it? Then pesticide which is sprayed in the fields is the factor responsible for air pollution. Then natural sources like wind-borne dust, fungi, molds, bacteria and nuclear programs that I gave you idea, isn't it? Now, harmful effects of air pollution also you must know, isn't it? Health aspects that include respiratory and cardiorespiratory system. The elderly, children's, smokers, and others with chronic respiratory difficulties are most sensitive to these factors, isn't it? Then, mortality and morbidity rate is high because of air pollution, isn't it? We have seen that respiratory function and cardiovascular system function also may get affected, isn't it? Then other effects of air pollution are that social aspects will be there, these like it leads to destruction of plant and animal life, isn't it? Then there is corrosion of metals, there is damage to buildings. Now here buildings mean the color of the building get affected if air pollution is high, and we can take example of Taj Mahal, isn't it? So Taj Mahal you are knowing very well, and the polluted air causes great damage to the buildings like Taj Mahal, and it is getting affected by the fumes of nearby whatever the oil refineries are there, isn't it? Then cost of cleaning and maintenance and repair also increases, isn't it? some other factors are like visibility. So our visibility also gets affected if air pollution is high. Now, how we can prevent and control air pollution, that we will discuss, isn't it? So here, one is to eliminate the sources of pollution, like whatever the stores are there, they must be improved. Then whatever the fuels are there, like kerosene, gas, they must be clean fuels, isn't it? Then venting stoves for cooking and heating must be used, isn't it? Electric can be used, alternate. Then regular maintenance of cooking, heating and cooling system, isn't it? Then air cleaning, isn't it? So proper ventilation must be there in crowded rooms, isn't it? Air filters and ionizers may improve, or it may remove rather airborne particles. Then gas absorbing material is used to remove gaseous contaminants, isn't it? Then by education also, so public should be educated through health education about the harmful effects of air pollution. So children's, family and community healthcare providers, isn't it, they can participate in this, isn't it? Then some other important preventive measures we can discuss, like whatever the causes we have seen, sources, those must be blocked, isn't it? Burning of agricultural waste in the field should be stopped, isn't it? Then natural gas or electricity can be used, isn't it, instead of burning coal tar and agricultural waste. Then here, smoking at public places must be prohibited, isn't it? Motor Vehicle Act rules must be strictly followed, they must be implemented, isn't it? Felling and cutting of trees must be stopped strictly, isn't it? Rather, many trees must be planted, because uh, if more plantation is there, so in industrial area and residential area, so that also reduces air pollution at certain extent, isn't it? So in many other states also, like Kerala or yeah, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, isn't it? If you visit, you will find that the industrial areas and away from habitat, there are open areas where vegetation is grown, isn't it? What is the purpose of this growth of vegetation or various plants? Because they purify air, isn't it? So these open areas where vegetation is grown for purification of air, they are called green belts, isn't it? So in this fashion, these preventive measures we can follow and control and prevent air pollution, isn't it? So caution descriptive is asked on air pollution, isn't it? Next point in this chapter is noise. Now, what is noise? That we must know. We must know the definition. And before definition, I will give you the difference between the noise and sound. Now, the sound becomes noise. Again, I repeat, the sound becomes noise when it causes disturbance or annoyance to the hearer, isn't it? So, noise is defined as wrong sound in a wrong place at a wrong time, isn't it? That is called noise. Now, sensitivity to noise varies from one person to another, isn't it? A sound may disturb a person but may be agreeable to the other also, isn't it? The word noise comes from the Latin word nausea, isn't it? Meaning injury or hurt, we can say, isn't it? So when particular sound, if it is increased, isn't it, and if it get converted into noise, so obviously that will be harmful to the human being. Now, noise is an unwanted, unpleasant, and annoying sound caused by vibration of the matter. That is another meaning of noise, isn't it? Now, more pollution is continuously increasing due to development of industry, heavy machinery, technology, and modern modes of transportation. Sometimes children also cause loud noise. Now, how noise is measured? So, a particular unit is used, and that unit is called decibel. The abbreviation of decibel is dB. So, a decibel is the standard unit of noise, isn't it? So, 1 decibel is the smallest amplitude which can be heard by the human ear. Animals can distinguish some sounds better than human beings, isn't it? Now, some of the levels, noise level values of some activities I will give you, and it is given on your slide that is displayed. So 20 decibel is whispering, isn't it? So when quietly, when few persons are talking, so that is whispering, that is 20 decibel. More than that, quiet office, so when the persons are working in the office, in between they may talk, so that is 40 decibel. Then normal conversation, so when two persons are continuously talking with each other, that is 60 decibel. And 80 decibel is the level at which sound becomes physically painful and can be termed as noise, isn't it? Now say for example printing press, that is 80 decibel, isn't it? Now, motor car horn, that is near about 100 to 120 decibel. Train passing station 110 decibel. And aeroplanes have got much more level of decibel, and that is you can say not comfortable for human beings. Now, sounds louder than 60 to 80 decibel are considered potentially very dangerous. Hair cells of the inner ear and the hearing nerve can be damaged by an intense brief impulse, isn't it? Now the maximum recommended noise level is 85 decibel. So 85 is the maximum level. Now if it is 100 to 120 decibel, it is uncomfortable. 130 to 140 is painful, and when it is more than 140 or even 160, so that can rupture our tympanic membrane of our human ears, and it can lead to permanent deafness also. Now, noise pollution makes man more irritable. The effect of noise pollution is multifaceted and interrelated. The effects of noise pollution on human being, animal, and property are as follows. So, these are ill effects of noise, isn't it? Now, in our country, many activities like marriages, ceremonies, festivals, religious or political activities are held by using some loudspeakers, isn't it? On functions also, DJ system is used, isn't it? So that causes noise pollution, isn't it? So that is, you can say, not comfortable for the specifically old people and mainly the children who are preparing for their examination, isn't it? Now, the ill effects of noise also you must know. Question is asked, and the first important effect is hearing impairment, isn't it? So, it may cause direct injury to auditory organ also, isn't it? So, it decreases the efficiency of a man, isn't it? Then, lack of concentration, because of noise, the person is not able to concentrate. If pregnant women are there, because of large unexpected noise, there may be abortion, isn't it? Pupil dilation, mental illness, there may be certain physiological changes also, isn't it? Like there may be increase in blood pressure, increase in heart rate, isn't it? Sweating, nausea, isn't it? So there may be heart attack even also. Digestive problems may be there. Temporary or permanent deafness, isn't it? Aggressive behavior, isn't it? There may be certain accidents in industries also, isn't it? So there may be uh, effects on animals, effects on property, isn't it? Then sleep interference, so sleep is disturbed, habit of loud speaking is developed, isn't it? It interferes with speech. So all these are important ill effects of noise. Now prevention and control of noise also we must know, isn't it? So how the noise pollution can be controlled? One is construction of soundproof rooms for noisy machines in industries. So in industries this can be done, that there may be sound absorbers that may be installed in the industry, or the machines who produce noise should be separated in a soundproof room, isn't it? Then every motor vehicle shall be fitted with a device silencer. So nowadays four stroke vehicles, you know, their noise is comparatively very less as compared to the vehicles which were earlier manufactured, isn't it? Then noise producing industries, uh, aerodromes and railway stations should be shifted away from inhabited areas. Then avoid or limit time spent in noisy sport events. Then the proper law should be enforced to check the misuse of loudspeakers and public announcement systems. Loudspeakers must be banned from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., isn't it? In the night time, isn't it? Then proper oiling of the vehicles will also reduce noise, isn't it? Before buying a home, see how far it is from the local airport, installation of noise barriers, isn't it? Then the uh, heavy vehicular traffic in residential area should not be allowed, isn't it? Use of pressure horns should be banned, isn't it? Whatever the electrical appliances are there, coolers are there, those must be noiseless, isn't it? Then whatever the television, radio, or whatever the music systems we are playing, so that must be in a slow volume which will not disturb to the neighbor, isn't it? Then noise pollution by the vehicle also should be checked by suitable adjustment, isn't it? Green vegetation and plants should be grown. They also help in reducing noise by 10 decibel, isn't it? Public should be educated about the hazards of noise and measures to reduce it as far as they can. So that is all about the noise we have seen in this lecture about the air, importance of air, then air pollution, prevention, causes, sources, and noise also we have covered, isn't it? Both are very important, and definite question is there on air also as well as on noise also. Thank you.